Hello, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me again. So as always, before we get started, we're going to take a look at your oracle cards. And this week, Leo, from Lay Vampire, you pulled Immortal, the consuming family and pressure of peers. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Mysticism. Now, Immortal from Lay Vampire is talking about how you are your own person and you have the right to create your life the way that you choose. But for some of you, you may be dealing with people who have other ideas of what you should be doing or how you should be living your life. And some of you may not be taking any action to correct this because of mysticism. This card is saying that for some of you, you may be fearing the unknown. The best action here is to be the observer, not to respond until you are certain. The unknown is not easy, but there is no need for you to fear what is not known to you at this time. All right, Leo, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. The Page of Wands. Nice, nice. So, new opportunities, but there is a feeling here of enthusiasm and excitement. The Page of Wands has a little bit of hesitation when it comes to following these new paths, but for a lot of you, this is exciting news. This is fun energy, doing something new creatively. But fantastic energy to be seeing here. New enthusiastic view on life. And in the past, the Knight of Wands. So again, you're carrying this feeling, but I feel like for some of you, you're reverting back here from the Knight back to the Page. Instead of going up into the Queen and the King, where you start to get a little bit more wisdom when it comes to following your passions. But the Knight of Wands, as the past coming through, is really talking about you going after it. Like really going after it. I like the energy for both because it's fun, it's new, it's passion, it's following your passions, doing the things that make you happy. And I think that, you coming in with this energy is fantastic. And some of you may be facing even more opportunities to do just that with that Page of Wands. Look at that. In the present, the Emperor. I like seeing it for any of the fire signs. This is the card of Aries, but I think it's perfect for you guys. You're following your passions, but then at the same time, in the present moment, you're getting shit under control here. The Emperor is order and structure out of chaos. Getting control of situations, getting control of your life. But on top of all of it, you're having fun. And you're following your passions, which is fantastic, fantastic. Future conditions, the Nine of Wands. And here's the thing. This speaks back to, the difficulties that you faced before, but there's persistence here. The only worry that I've ever had with the Nine of Wands is the person that is so on guard may miss opportunities that are coming through, but I feel like you guys are just pushing on. You're pushing on here. Look at the fire energy happening. I think it's fantastic. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. You've been through difficulties, but damn it, you're still going to continue fighting for the things that you have a passion for. You got your guard up, but I think you're willing to continue here. When it comes to following your passions, you are like passion driven right now. It's fantastic. But you have control, which is the important thing with the Emperor. You have control over these situations that are happening. Your best path to follow. Seeing the Five of Swords is the best path to follow here. This is where I think this is going back to the difficulties that you're going to face here with the Nine of Wands, right? You've been through it. The Five of Swords is speaking about bullshit. It's bullshit, right? But the thing here is when it's in your best path to follow, there's a need to walk away from conflict. If you have people who are pulling you into arguments and situations that you don't want to be involved in, you need to walk away. There's also the point here too where don't allow yourself to be bullied into situations either. You have the right to create your own life. And I think, you're pulling on all this fantastic energy and looking at your last reading, somebody may be opposing it. Like, wait a minute, you're supposed to do what I want you to do. And that's bullshit. You get to do whatever the hell you want to do. Nobody else has a say in that. And I really do think that that's where the Nine of Wands is coming out at. You're going to deal with some opposition when it comes to you going after your passions, whether you're traveling, whether you have new creative ideas that you're acting on, whatever it is, you have control. You have control over what happens. You have control over your life and over the opportunities that you are chasing down here, especially with that page in that night. I look at that and I worry a little bit. It's like Spirit saying, hey, all these great things are going to be happening. There's going to be a lot of passion and excitement and fun in your life, but you may be facing some opposition, and it may be from the people that are closest to you. And I know I've seen this before with Leo. It seems like when you want to follow what you want, somebody opposes it. But really here, you're taking the lead. You're taking control. These are the things that you want to do. It is up to you on whether or not you allow people to stand in your way. In your environment, look at the wand energy. I'm telling you. The Six of Wands, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I feel like, especially looking at this outside of your last reading, if you were dealing with people who were being extremely deceitful, it's like you immediately shift gears and you're like, hell no, I'm going to start doing what I want to do because I've been disillusioned by the person that was closest to me. The Six of Wands is saying victory. You have victory. This is the applause for a job well done here. Recognition. Somebody recognizing you for the work that you do. And look at the fire energy here. Having victory over opposition. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And you have control. You have control over everything that is happening now. It's like you stepped up. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do and what makes me happy. And I'm not going to let anybody else stand in my way. Your hopes and your fears. And there it is. Happiness. Happiness. Yes. The Nine of Cups is your hopes and fears. I like it because to me it's saying that you're going to have your wishes fulfilled here. When you start following your bliss, life opens up in such a beautiful way when you start doing the things that make you happy. And the Nine of Cups, it's important here to be happy with the things that you have. There's a little bit of smugness there, like, haha, look at what I've got, right? Don't let that go to your head. Keep going after your passions because it is creating beautiful things in your life. I love seeing the Nine of Cups there out of this. This is fantastic. This is like, I feel like this is a warning here that, again, you may be facing some opposition, but it's going to be a little bit more harsh than, like, say, the Five of Wands. But, it's up to you. It's up to you here to stand up for yourself. Walk away from these kinds of bullshit arguments and people trying to hold you back or bully you into situations. Because your happiness is what's more important. And you are responsible for creating your own happiness. And the outcome, the Hierophant. Wow. Seeing that as the outcome is fantastic. It's fantastic. I like this one because it isn't the traditional Pope. It's a tree, and there's wisdom here with this tree. I think it's fantastic. The Hierophant, though, is spirituality brought down to earth in a way for us to understand. For some of you, this could suggest somebody coming through that is giving you some spiritual guidance. Especially with the Emperor coming through, this could suggest somebody that's helping you get control over your passions and you following them. But the Hierophant for me has always been that higher understanding of the situations that are happening to you. Getting a better spiritual understanding. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, Leo. I love it. There's happiness. There is learning and wisdom here. There is control. You are happy, you're following your passions, and it's almost like, I feel like you learn how to deal with situations like this a little bit better instead of letting them affect what you do to create your own happiness. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. So new growth, that definitely goes with the Wands. When we start to plant that energy, we start to see new growth happening in our lives. Purpose. Everything that happens to us, there is a reason for it. But more importantly here, when I look at purpose and I look at all this wand energy, you have a purpose. You have a purpose. Your passions, you are following your passions. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. You're finding a purpose in following your passions and you're experiencing new growth. I love it. I love it. But so important, gratitude. it brings in more. It brings in more support. It's so important to be grateful for the things that we have. And you guys aren't the only ones to be pulling this one either. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Here's the thing with this one. When you are in a relationship and you are happy, this is an opportunity here for you to have a restart, especially if your partner is opposing you following your own passions, especially if it's going to cause situations where people are recognizing you for it, right? But for some of you, you know, if you've recently dealt with breakups and you're meeting somebody new, this person may be of importance to you, especially with all this fire energy going on. But, you know, before we can start new relationships, you have to get rid of your feelings surrounding your ex. You got to clear that out of your system so that you can make the most of new loves when they do present themselves to you. But I love this reading. I love this reading. Finding a purpose in your passions. It's beautiful, and experiencing new growth. And as far as love goes, I think it's great, but there's the warning here about clearing out your energy, especially if some of you are dealing with breakups and just now meeting somebody new and starting this relationship, right? You want to make sure you get rid of that. And don't ever let anybody hold you back from doing the things that you want, especially when it comes to following your own bliss. Okay, Leo, so you guys are really going after it this week. All the fire and the passion that's going on is beautiful. It's fantastic. Some of you guys are getting some exciting news, and I think it's bringing a feeling from the past coming back through for some of you where you are following these opportunities, and again, following your passions, and you're finding a purpose to your passions, and you're really going after it here. I think some of you may face some opposition. And looking at the Five of Swords and then Immortal, I really think that some of you may have some people around you that are opposing you following what it is that you want to do because they have their own ideas of how you should be living your life. But again, we are responsible for creating our own happiness. It's so important. And then seeing the Six of Wands in your environment means that you have victory over this opposition. And for some of you, you may be facing it because you're being recognized for following your passions. Now, seeing the Emperor over all of this says that you have control. You have control over your own life, and you have control over the situations that you are going through right now. But they're fantastic. You guys are following new opportunities that have to do with your passions. Like it's the big word for this reading, and I think it's beautiful. But then seeing the Emperor and the Hierophant though too, I think some of you may be getting some really good advice and getting some wisdom, some spiritual wisdom that's like setting you on fire here and going after new things. But seeing the Hierophant as the outcome though here is, to me, it's always the higher understanding of what is happening in your life. Getting some wisdom and some spiritual wisdom at that. And gratitude and new growth, you're definitely experiencing this. And gratitude is only going to bring more of these beautiful opportunities into your life. But it's fantastic. You're not letting anything get in your way. The Five of Swords I'm not too worried about. I just think that these are the people that don't want you to be doing other things. They want you to do what they want you to do, right? But that's bullshit. You get to create your life the way that you want to. You get to live your life the way that you want to. Looking at mysticism though, I think some of you may be fearing the unknown, but really this card is telling you not to. Your intuition is going to lead you into a spot where you are comfortable with following your passions and maybe not knowing what's going to happen here. But I think overall this reading is beautiful. You guys don't have anything to worry about this week, other than following your passions, which is fantastic. Now, as far as love goes, when I see new love show up for couples, and then especially with release your ex, if you have recently dealt with a breakup, it's important to get rid of that energy so that you can make the most of the new people that are coming through. On the other hand, for some of you, this may be a situation where there is a new start in a relationship. It's like seeing this person through different eyes. It's almost like a new person for you. But both of them, I'm okay with. It's just release that energy of your ex, and certainly don't let your ex stop you from following your passions either.